Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for joining us. Boomer here with the Boomer Smith Podcast. Real quick, man, I am jacked up to be hanging out with you again. It's a good week. It's a great week. Fantastic. One of the best weeks, top-notch weeks of the year thus far, despite the weather. But what are you gonna do? I live in Iowa. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But I'm jacked up to be getting the lawnmower out again, cleaning the garage, doing outside stuff, taking the kids outside. It's awesome. So I hope that you are feeling that. I hope you're feeling it. And God bless you during that process. So let's get to it, because I don't lollygag. I don't waste time. In fact, I am incredibly passionate about saving time and being efficient, because I'm a busy guy. Like you guys, I'm a busy guy. So I'm looking at my cheat sheet here now. Now I decided in order to make sure that I am efficient with my time, that I would check an email, every episode with you folks hanging out, just to make sure that I'm getting through this stuff, because my Gmail account right now has 54,000 emails in it. So if I can just do one at a time, one a week, we'll get there together, guys. So before I read this one, and I've got to give you a little bit of a backstory here. I watch Netflix, and this is going to work perfect because I've got a show to review with you. Thanks to my email, by the way, because of the email that we're going to look at. But on Netflix, I've got a profile. You got a profile, I got a profile. Normally, my profile would say Boomer until I got married, had kids, started inviting people into the Netflix profile, which is how it goes. So my daughter logged on to Netflix, and she changed my name to Boomer is a Rhino. And she also changed my avatar to a picture of a rhino, which is fantastic. It's fantastic because of this. Hey, Boomer is a Rhino. We've got a suggestion for you to watch. Thanks, Netflix. I appreciate that. So, Boomer is a Rhino. Here was the suggestion. It's a show called Crime Scene Vanishing at the Hotel Cecil. So, it looks like there's probably going to be more seasons with some other situations. So, Crime Scene Vanishing at the Hotel Cecil. And I watched it. And I want to give you my opinion of it, because like me, you don't want to waste time either. So when you get on the flicks of the Netflix, you want to know that you're going to watch something that's worth your time because you're busy. So as far as Crime Scene Vanishing at the Hotel Cecil, yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's how I feel about it. Yeah. Whew. Okay. I mean, interesting. So that's it. So thank you. I doubled up there. I've got my email taken care of. I got the Netflix review in. We are moving and a grooving, and it's only been a couple of minutes. So thank you. Thank you, guys. I discovered the other day. It's probably been a couple months, which technically is the other day, just so you know. The other day is any day except for today, yesterday, or a day in the future. The other day could be a year ago. My daughter and I battle this quite often. But the other day, I was thinking of something the other day, and I want to save time in any way possible. And I'm also passionate about etiquette, and I've got something to say about Wheel of Fortune today, obviously. But I want to save time, but I also want to obey etiquette, And I'm driving, and I'm coming up to a four-way stop. We go to these intersections, and we know what to do. You know the right thing to do. If I get there before the other guy, I go. And if we get there at the same time, the guy to the right of me goes, and so on and so forth. Or we wave each other around. There's a written code within each and every one of us that as soon as we get hair on our knuckles, it all starts. And in driving, I want to save time. I don't want to speed like crazy. So I want to obey etiquette, which would be laws, traffic laws, speed limits to a degree. But when I'm driving, I found a new opportunity to save some time. So let me share with you, because tips and tricks are free on the house because I care about you. So to save time, when I'm approaching a four-way stop and I see that me and this other fella are probably going to get there about the same time, and I also see that he's going to have the right of way because he's to the right of me. So in that situation, I'm probably going to have to wait. I'm going to have to wait for him. So in that moment, in waiting for him, I lost some time and I'm busy. So this is what I figured out. Just stop 2 or 3 feet before the stop sign. And then you're there first and go on your way. So you're welcome, guys. That's how you do it. So every time I get to a four-way stop, even if nobody's there, I practice that repeatedly, stopping 2 to 3 feet before the stop sign, because I'm busy. I got stuff to do, and you get that. So there you go. Try it out. Let me know how it goes. If you get in trouble, everything's okay until someone says it's not okay. So if you get in trouble, just tell them that, you're used to driving your other car. You got one of those big, long Dick Tracy cars or something like that. Just tell them that. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. But this is what's interesting. And as I was putting this material together, I started to study the concept of right-of-way. What does that mean? Because I'm a guy that wants to know etiquette and ethics. And I want to be socially responsible. I want to practice my boomer social responsibility out in public when I go to the store and stuff, which is the only place that I go. But so I did some research. I started to hit the scholarly databases because I want to know. I want to make sure that I'm giving you the goods, the right information, and I'm not wasting your time. And I want to be helpful, and I want to learn. I'm a learner in all this as well. So as I'm studying and I'm looking and I'm reading, I realize that this right-of-way concept is foggy. Even in Iowa, it doesn't necessarily define what the right-of-way is. Even in our country, it doesn't necessarily define it. But it's something that you and I know. Like I said, it comes to us once we get hair on our knuckles and we start driving. But it's interesting. And it's even more interesting to me that some of these concepts, like etiquette within Wheel of Fortune, like saving time and inventing your own right-of-way, it's interesting to me that this stuff isn't being researched. It's not being talked about. Scholars, peer-reviewed articles, it's not out there. And that can only mean one thing to me. This is important. We're it. You and I, we're the last hope of getting this stuff out there. This is a movement. It is a movement. Anyways, let's get moving here. I am crazy today. You know why I'm crazy today? Because I'm completely out of branched chain amino acid energy drink from Optimum Nutrition. That's why. It's coming in the mail today from Amazon. Thank you, Amazon. All right. So we get it. Guy to the right, get out of the way. That's the right of way. We want to make sure we follow a law of traffic. And this is just a shortcut to still follow it and save time. Now, when I'm studying this process, this word came up to what is a right of way. And the definition comes in the word easement. So in the United States, a right-of-way, according to Wikipedia, is normally created as a form of easement. Oxford Dictionary defines easement as a right to cross or otherwise use someone else's land for a specified purpose. So we understand right-of-way in driving, but I really started to think that there's other areas where there's right-of-way etiquette as far as using someone else's land or property that really fascinated me. Again, not talked about. And I did look this stuff up. Not talked about, but the mailman. Now, Joe Blow down the street does not have the right. He does not have the easement to just walk through my yard. The kids on their way to school do not have the easement. They do not have the right to just walk through my yard. But the mailman, he can walk through my yard. And I want to make sure we get this etiquette out there because, like I said, it's not written down. It doesn't exist. So that's why I'm sharing it now. It's recorded, written. The mailman, though, he can do whatever he wants. He can walk through my yard, my garden, do whatever he wants. The paper boy, though, and I was a paper boy, cannot. The mailman can. But the mailman can't just be like walking through my backyard or anything like that. And he also can't just be walking through my yard at like 2 a.m. or anything like that. But he can do that. And I really don't think there are a lot of other situations where we can say, yes, you can walk through my yard whenever you want. I really think the mailman is it. And I'm sorry, and I know what Brown can do for me, and also whatever FedEx's thing is, but they don't necessarily have that same thing, and I don't ever see them try to do that. So I think they know. Mailmen and mail women and mail women too. So yeah, you guys have it. You guys have it. So that's written into the etiquette now. It's down. So I'm sure that the interviews will come as far as scholarly articles are concerned. Can't wait. But let's move on. So Wheel of Fortune the other day, and I do want to say that I apologize for individuals that I've been hard on during my Wheel of Fortune bit. But let me say this: Wheel of Fortune the other day. I'm not going to use names, but I just want to continue to let you know what's right and what's wrong as far as Wheel of Fortune goes. And this is important because this is a life lesson for all of us. So as a contestant on Wheel of Fortune, you must embrace humility throughout the show. Now, that does not mean that natural joy and excitement must cease. But the other day, I saw a gal win a prize, and man, she lacked the humility in that moment. And it wasn't just me. This isn't just a boomer thing because I'm obsessed with Wheel of Fortune, because my wife said something about it too. So I saw her, react in a way that was not humble. It didn't embrace what I expect as a Wheel of Fortune contestant to carry. You have to have class on the show. You have to be classy. And humility is classy, super classy, classy AF, put it that way. So you have to be humble on the show. So I saw this gal win something, completely lack humility. It bothered me. And then she ended up not winning the final round, which I thought was fantastic. But then the guy that did win the final round, talk about contrast, the humility over him. He was so grateful for what the wheel had given him. And that's the way you should be. Even if you only leave with the measly $1,000, always be grateful and be honored that you even had the opportunity to be in the presence of Vanna and Pat on Wheel of Fortune. So always embrace humility. And when I saw this gentleman win, I saw like tears come to his eyes. And that is my favorite. When I'm watching the wheel and I see somebody tear up, just the understanding that they don't deserve it, but it's been given to them. And I love that. I love that. So for you folks right now, I want you to know that we need to embrace humility all the time. Every good thing that we have, we didn't deserve all of this. There are individuals that work way harder than you and I do, that are probably nicer than you and I are, that are living in some pretty impoverished situations. So feel blessed, feel honored that we can even chat together through this media this mean of media memes. Anyways, but I'm honored. I'm honored for the life that I have. I'm honored for what has been given to me, and to understand too that when I live in this honor and when I'm winning great prizes, as each day is a prize in my life, that there are individuals that may not be winning great prizes. There are individuals that are only getting $1,000 on Wheel of Fortune. Meanwhile, you have a trip to Maui. So embrace those around you as well. Mourn with those who mourn, grieve with those who grieve. Reach out to your brothers and sisters, your neighbors, and how are they doing? Because while things may be going great for you in the moment, they may not for someone else, and you can share with them your abundance. And then vice versa, when you're in a situation where you lack, I pray that there are individuals around you that embrace humility and come down next to you and help you out. I will be one of them. So remember this, folks. I've got your back here on the Boomer Smith podcast. Folks in Belgium, Germany, the Coral, whatever that island is that popped up on my database. But I love you guys. Boomer here, Boomer Smith podcast.